Hello, Leo. Welcome to June. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. That's a great way to begin. The Empress. Clearly, this is your energy coming through with power, as always. And I think there's a great deal of creativity passing through you right now. Lots to say, lots to do, but there's a quality of percolating, letting things sink in, letting ideas kind of formulate, letting the path become clear. And there's a lot of openness with the Empress. You know, she's very open to however it needs to get there, at whatever time it needs to get there. But she also knows where she wants to go. There's a feeling of readiness and patience coinciding beautifully together here. And whatever it is you've been cultivating over the past several months seems to be coming to a head for you. Probably in the next few months, you're going to start seeing these goals. You're going to start seeing these things that you've been working to manifest. They're going to start sprouting. And you're going to be like, oh, damn, like I really did create that. And you're going to have a new understanding of what it means to create your reality, what it means to shape your life. Okay? What it means when people say that matter is subordinate to the mind. And I think there's going to be a newfound appreciation for those things as well. You seem to be unstoppable with that energy. And no matter what the transits are doing, no matter eclipse season, no matter what Uranus is doing, no matter what Venus is doing, doesn't matter. You are on track. And the transits can happen and they can come and they can go and they can fade in and they can fade out. But you are on track. Okay. You're dealing with someone who's probably either not super happy about it, not super happy that you are so confident, not super happy that you don't need them, really. You can love them, you can care about them, you can nurture them and continue doing, but all in all, it's possible that you are questioning whether or not this person brings any value to you at all. Because when you are so self-possessed and so strong, and when you are feeling so secure in your future, you don't need people. And even if this is like your significant other, this is your husband or your wife, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, it's kind of like, look out, Leo's on a rampage. And if you're not bringing value to the situation, then you might not be around that long. You got to bring value to Leos right now. If you're cross-watching and you're just kind of like hanging out and doing the Netflix and chill thing, they're probably not going to be on board with that much longer. They're going to get bored with it super fast. Bringing value in terms of what you offer to educate them, right? To enhance their intelligence, to enhance their life path, to enhance their career, and we know that Leo is all about, we need support from others in order for us to truly shine. If you're not willing to truly support Leo right now, then you're going to be out of the picture. And Leo, I think you're okay with that because you don't need any leeches. You don't need any people that are like simpletons. It's all about bringing value to a Leo's life. What do you contribute? Leo, I think that okay, so here's what we have, okay? The Knight of Coins is a quality of service. So when I say value, this is what I'm talking about. Because Leo, you are wanting to contribute more to like humanity, right? It's Gemini season. This is 11th house activity for you. You've got 10th house stuff going on in Taurus with Uranus and Venus. 10th and 11th house activity with these major planets. Plus the 5th house Jupiter. I mean, like what are you creating? How is it helping your career? And how is it helping humanity? I think, Leo, you're wanting to be of service in this world in a greater capacity. And you need people to be of service alongside with you. You have work ahead of you, no doubt. And I think as an Empress, you're absolutely willing to do the work. You might need to educate yourself a little bit more, Leo, too, right? You might need to put your head down in the books, maybe, right? Study something, go to some kind of class, whether it's at your local energy place or take on some kind of new skill at like a vocational college or a couple of courses at the community center, like whatever. You might need to do something like that or just self-study, do something on your own, but you are taking yourself up several notches. It's not just like one little notch, it's like boom, like your skill sets are growing rapidly. I don't know that this King of Wands is like following that same path. They seem to be really resistant, and I think they don't really understand it. So like if you're someone, let's say you're, kind of in the spiritual community, maybe you want to become like a Reiki healer or something. Okay, just putting this out there as an example. You're wanting to become a Reiki master or to become some kind of a healer or study shamanism. This is probably someone who's like, why on earth would you ever want to do that? Like, why would you want to take time away from me, take time away from our family? Why would you want to take time away so that you can go study this weird thing? You're going to have to face that battle, and if they're not supporting you, it's kind of like they're bad luck. Because you're going to do it anyway. I think you're actually quite stubborn this month, Leo. Fixed sun, makes sense. I know it's in Gemini, but it's in your 11th house, so it's a fixed placement. So once your mind is set, it's set. This is about you. I don't see you necessarily collaborating. Like, I know that 11th house is all about friend groups and politics and clubs and associations and all of that. With the exception of the institutions of college or whatever, or schools, healing centers, that kind of thing. With the Mars in the 12th house, like this is isolation, right? Mars in the 12th house, and I know that because I have a natal Mars in the 12th house. You're going to want to go it on your own. You may withdraw. You may be inside a lot. There may be a lot of pressures to get out and be social, but there's a party that's like, nah, man, like I can't. I got to take advantage of this energy while I can. Like my solar return is coming up in a couple of months and I want to start my new year off with a bang. And I'm going to take between now and my birthday, or between the sun coming through my ascendant or giving me the new moon quality, right? If it connects with your moon, I'm going to go through that period of time and like really milk it. So collaborations, I don't know. And I think this could actually be a result of miscommunications and misunderstandings between you and the King of Wands. Because this is also a card of Leo, I feel like this person reminds you a lot of who you used to be. I was having a conversation with someone the other day. He's a Scorpio, Sagittarius rising, Aquarius moon. So no Leo in his chart at all. But he and I were having a conversation about consciousness, and he's been going through so much. And he was like, I didn't realize how unconscious I was until I started to become conscious. And I was like, yeah, like that's kind of how it works. Like you have no idea how unawake you are or how asleep you are until life throws you some curveballs and you start to like figure it out. So this is someone that is kind of a mirror for you to say, I used to be there. I used to be like that person. I used to be closed-minded like that. And there's nothing but compassion for that. There's nothing but compassion. You also know that they're on their own journey and that you can't make someone wake up. You can give them all the information in the world, send them to certain websites, give them YouTube videos, give them blog posts. You could give them all that stuff, but if they are not open, they won't wake up. So there's compassion for where they are, but it can cause a breakdown in the structure of your connection. So don't be surprised if things start shifting a little bit. Don't be surprised if you start getting frustrated or feel like this person's presence in your life is more of a nuisance than anything. Because they just seem to be in a different space. Now, if you're a cross watcher for Leo, I'm not trying to say you're a terrible person, right? But I am saying there's a disconnect between where they are headed and where you are headed. This doesn't necessarily have to be a toxic person. It doesn't have to be a stupid person. That's not really what I'm trying to say. But it's just someone that has a different idea of where they want their life to go. Okay? I do think that there's a feeling of burden. You know, this has a lot to do with the 6th house activity. Don't know what else to say. 6th house, Pluto, Saturn, and the nodes in the 12th and 6th house. You know, you have to make changes in your day-to-day life. And that includes people, that includes your jobs, your livelihoods, that includes your relationships with your children. Some of you may be having some difficult situations with your children as well, where you may be feeling like either they're kind of escaping you or they're not really taking your guidance very well or very seriously. You know, they may be in a rebellion period of time, and you may be feeling the weight of other people's choices, the weight of other people's journeys on your shoulders. But you know what? The minute you start releasing this particular load and all this burden is the minute that you begin to flourish the way only an empress can flourish. Okay, this is hard, especially in relationships. When you feel like you're doing all the work, when you feel like you're the only one who's invested, when you feel like you're the only one who cares, like how long, like how much longer, Leo? Honestly, this is what the North Node in your 12th house is all about. When the North Node was in your sign, like in 2017, 2018, right? Like it was a time for Leo and Aquarius to realign their priorities. But with the 12th house nodes, it's a time for you to literally shed the layers and to actually do the stuff. Because you're changing, you're morphing your subconscious mind, which is really hard to do. I think there's a little bit too much emphasis on like, if you just use your conscious mind to manipulate your subconscious mind and to change this and to, you know, to get your subconscious mind to work for you, like people make it sound so easy. It is not easy because your subconscious mind is so much bigger than your conscious mind. So that's what's happening. Your subconscious mind and the library back there is being revised. Like you're cleaning out the library. Let's say that. You're cleaning out the library. And the way you go about doing things absolutely is going to change. And it's going to confuse people. They're not going to like it. People don't like change, especially not a King of Wands reversed. And you do have work to do. Lots and lots of indications of work. 6th house activity, 10th house activity. These are earth signs, you know, earth signs, earth houses. You got to put your head down. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to get in the trenches. And you know what? I see her in her beautiful garden, but she planted the garden. She got down on her hands and knees, planted those seeds one at a time. Because how could you really appreciate it otherwise? How could you appreciate the fruits of your labor if you didn't really labor? So this is about full spectrum. Trenches, getting your hands dirty, doing all the dirty work, paying your dues, and enjoying the benefits as well. And again, this is all stuff that only you can do. Highly independent and self-reliant energies. Your money situation is probably going to improve a lot. A lot. Not right away, but you are making the changes, even if it's just mentally right now. You are making the energetic shifts that are needed to increase your material abundance. Okay? What else? What else just comes out? 3 of Swords and the Hierophant. So this is someone who really knows who they are. Leo, I love you for this. This is something that I think the rest of the zodiac can like look at and truly appreciate. When someone knows who they are. Anyone can do that, but I think that's just your birthright. That's the sun, right? The rulership of the sun. You know who you are. And you make no apologies for that ever. And the Hierophant is that inner Buddha. It's the inner guru inside of you. It's the enlightened state, the true state, the natural state of your essence. And you abide by that. And you abide by the laws of the universe, using the powers of manifestation to your benefit, using the powers of manifestation to redefine your path. Like I said, you're not unwilling to do the work because you know that the fruits of your labor are absolutely going to be worth it. Now, totally switching gears, okay? This is a card of Taurus as well. You may be dealing with a Taurus because we got kind of the earth sign energy of or Virgo, Taurus, also maybe an earth sign Capricorn. You may be dealing with another fire sign, someone that probably is going to try to tell you what to do, probably has pretty strong opinions for you, but honestly, it's like water off a duck's back. Like, you don't care about other people's opinions right now. No one can tell you nothing. No one can tell you nothing. You're just not even about it. Because look how strong you are, and look at where they're coming from. You may be slowly losing respect for people that are exhibiting this kind of behavior. This is selfish behavior, and they're trying to not be a part of what you've got going on because they're afraid of you growing. They're afraid of you growing past them. They're afraid of you surpassing them and getting bored with them. Honestly, they're afraid you're going to get bored with them. If you're cross-watching, seriously, to bring value. If you're dealing with a toxic Leo, these roles could be reversed. Okay, I'm not saying all Leos are perfect. I speak to the higher vibrational expressions of the archetypes, okay? So the people who are here wanting to learn, wanting to understand the energies at play. But these roles very well could be reversed, okay? Where you're cross-watching, you're the Empress, and the King of Wands is the Leo that you're dealing with. So, Three of Swords. Something has to be let go. Something has to be acknowledged. The dissolving of the structure needs to be acknowledged. The fact that Leo wants to go on their own path needs to be acknowledged and addressed and worked around. The Three of Swords is rough. And Leo, I know you don't want to leave anyone behind. Leo never does. Leo is the one that's like, yeah, sure, come to the party. Bring your friends. Bring your friends' friends. Bring everyone. Like, it's a good time. We're going to have a good time. You're in an inclusive sign, right? You're not exclusive, right? Maybe like Aquarius, a little exclusive. Capricorn, exclusive. All earth signs, exclusive. But fire signs are generally inclusive. So the fact that you are setting those boundaries and excluding someone, I think is really hard on you. It's really hard for you to swallow that pill. But you also know that your future really depends on it. You are wanting to live up to the highest of your potential. And sometimes, in order to do that, you do need to move on. The 10 of Wands, you can't have your cake and eat it too, right? You're going to need to let go of something. Yeah. I mean, Cancer's was pretty rough too. Cancer had a really strong reading. I always recommend watching your 12th house. So if you're an actual Leo ascendant, watch Cancer because they're really interconnected, the sign right before yours. There's a lot of correlation. You have a lot of Cancer in you. So this doesn't surprise me at all. You're releasing devils, which is what I call the Cancer reading. You're releasing the attachments. You're releasing the love. You're converting or transmuting that love into a compassionate quality. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Okay, let's pull the rest of the cards. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down now the way we do. Let me turn the camera over. Okay, so there you can see the cards, the way they're laid out. I'm going to pull 4 more, and then I'll pull the cards that will be available or that we'll talk about in the comprehensive reading. So, 7 of coins and 5 of wands. Both Saturnian ruled. Okay. 7 of coins is a feeling of a lot of work and very little reward. Feeling as though there's been a waste of energy. And we don't like that, right? The feeling of waste. Wasted time, wasted energy, all because maybe you put someone else's needs first because you cared about them. That is no longer. And honestly, if you are experiencing like fighting or strife and failure, right? If you are experiencing fighting and antagonism, someone's ego getting in your way, that's the kind of thing that is needing to be put to bed once and for all. Leo, you're going to have to draw the line with someone and really indicate to them what you will and will not accept. And that can be hard for a Leo to do because I know you do want to make people happy, because I know you care, but you need to tell people what you're not going to accept. And I think that this kind of little immature behavior is like temper tantrums, don't leave me behind, how dare you, focus on this for us, we got to do it for us. They may try to guilt you into doing something for teamwork, like that's always the worst. Like, we need to be on the same team, but also selfishly taking your future away from you. That needs to be put to bed. Okay? The Grand Cross, the provoker. You know what a Grand Cross is, right, in astrology? It's a very challenging energy, squares, oppositions, some of the hardest aspects in astrology. And it does, there's just disharmony. Clearly, with these cards, clearly there's disharmony going on within this connection. And as long as you are sitting at that Hierophant space of awareness, you'll be free, you'll feel free to make the choices that are needed for you and your own kind of sanity. Now, I have a new deck. Okay, this is called the Sacred Spirit deck by Anna Stark. Really, really beautiful. So I'm going to incorporate it. It's called, this card is Soul Fragments. Balance will be restored. I am going to read it because it's a new deck and I'm still learning all of the meanings, and the book is so well written. So let's go ahead and just read like the first little paragraph here. The life of our soul is infinite, and while aspects of the self are never truly lost, they can separate through times of trauma, grief, separation, loss, or refusing to deal with an issue. The psyche's self-preservation causes this illusionary disconnection as it chooses to distance itself from the situation in question. These fragments are merely in places our consciousness has chosen to forget to spare the emotional turmoil from an intense emotional experience. Okay, so what did I say about the 12th house activity? Your balance will be restored, because of the eclipses. So if you don't take care of this right now, it's okay. It's going to take care of itself eventually. But you might as well save yourself the pain and the turmoil and the feeling of disharmony, right? You may as well take advantage of the desire to clean it up. Because if you take action and rid yourself of this disharmony, your life will find balance much sooner. Because I think you know where you need to go. You might not know exactly the path of how it's going to happen, but you know what you want. So let's go ahead and pull these cards for the comprehensive, which will be available on the site. I changed shopping cart platforms because so many people were having issues getting the links. Still having a few issues, but not nearly as many. But if you don't get the link right away, just email me, okay? I don't know what to do. I'm feeling like no matter what happens, people have spam blocks or different security settings or whatever, and it just affects it. So email me and I'll send it to you as soon as I can. So here's the Empress, all right? Look at where you are, right? I mean, this is such a great place for you to be at. You have to be careful because the resources that you have, people are envy of. Or envious of, if I can speak properly. Let's look at this King of Wands here. A little two-faced, I'm getting with that person. Yeah, makes sense. Could be dealing with a Scorpio as well. They'll be fine. With or without you, they are going to be totally fine. I know you're trying to like build an empire. Even if it's just like a quiet life for yourself, right? Your empire. And those kinds of goals really do need to be protected. Okay. Little insecurity though, which is probably why the connection isn't entirely severed. Because you are having a hard time releasing officially and actually taking that leap. That leap might seem a little bit scary. Oh, 10 of Wands again. Seems like you're trying to hold up the structures all by yourself. Like Atlas holding up the world in the sky. Oh, got a whole bunch there. Okay, well, we'll take them all. That's fine. I'm not liking the frivolousness of this other person that you're dealing with. I'm really not. Don't match frivolousness with frivolousness, okay? That's not going to work out in your favor. Okay. Whole bunch of cards again. Empress coming out again. All right, fine. We'll take them all. You're hanging on to security. That security is false. Security is usually an illusion anyway. Oh my gosh, these cards like really are wanting to talk to you. 7 of Coins again, so we get that card twice. Lovers reversed, okay. We'll just do kind of one for each of these since we pretty much pulled almost the entire deck here. Yeah. When you know, right? When it's over, it's over. Like when you know, it's time to call it. It's time to call it. Oh, okay, so we get 2. Okay. Lots to talk about still. But if you take nothing else from this reading and you're not ready to make a decision yet, the best thing you can do is to just acknowledge how aware you are of how you're feeling about this person, right? When you know, you know. I had this message for Scorpio the past couple months. When you know, you know. And you don't want to look back and be like, oh man, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that I knew it and I didn't do anything about it. You know, so like trust yourself. All right? Okay, you guys, I'm going to leave you with that. If you want to join me in the comprehensive, the link will be down below. All right? Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.